Baik hadirin sekalian, kita akan mendengarkan pemaparan ekosistem logistik untuk menyelaraskan arus lalu lintas barang dan dokumen internasional sejak kedatangan sarana pengangkut sampai barang tiba di gudang. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite Mr. Insinyur Agus Sudarmadi. Floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, I could present in English actually, but this my presentation is quite visual. I prefer to deliver the presentation in Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia nggak apa-apa ya, Pak ya. Oke, terima kasih. Tadi sudah diperkenalkan. Sebenarnya saya bahagia banget ketika Iata mengundang pertama kali. Ya, ini saya sebenarnya sangat butuh gitu, karena di Impres 5 2020 gitu ya Bapak Ibu sekalian, itu target untuk NLE bandar udara itu di 2020. Tapi memang kemarin kita di 2 tahun terakhir emphasize di logistik ekosistem di sisi laut ya, dan konektivitasnya juga dengan yang di darat, sehingga memang agak sedikit tertinggal. Dan alhamdulillah dengan adanya ini tadi saya melihat banyak sekali insight yang mungkin nanti bisa kita follow up gitu ya. Jadi setelah presentasi ini, setelah pertemuan ini, mungkin Bapak yang akan kita undang, Bapak sekalian yang kita undang, FGD di kantor dan sebagainya. Pagi ini juga kami sudah bertemu ya, 2 minggu atau 3 minggu lalu kami bertemu dengan Pak Menteri Perhubungan ya, Direktur Jenderal, Direktur Jenderal, Menteri Perhubungan, dan juga Pak Erick Thohir ya, juga Direktur Utama Angkasa Pura, Direktur Utama Pelindo, dan beberapa pejabat untuk segera men-speed up ini ya. Dan hari ini selama 2 hari di Soekarno-Hatta kami bertemu dengan Angkasa Pura juga lagi, Angkasa Pura, lalu juga Bea Cukai Soekarno-Hatta, Dirjen Hubungan Udara, untuk memfollow up program ini. Dan saya kira ini juga nanti akan kami segera sampaikan ya, beberapa input dari pertemuan ini untuk bisa kita follow up bersama. Terima kasih. Yang jelas kami atas nama pemerintah Republik Indonesia sangat senang ini diundang. Jadi sebenarnya kita saling membutuhkan. Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, nasional logistik ekosistem di bidang bandar udara suatu hal yang baru, dan ini mungkin kita bisa mulai dari awal gitu ya. Dan kita lihat, saya ketika diminta pendapat oleh teman-teman dari Stranas PK, bandar udara gimana? Saya selalu mengatakan kepada teman-teman Stranas PK, Kemenko Ekonomi, ya, Kemenko Marves, ya, bahwa bandar udaraan sebagian besar bisnisnya sudah mature. Jadi we as a government don't try gitu ya, mencoba membuat hal baru gitu ya, yang justru ternyata nanti tidak kompatibel, tidak integrated, dan tidak kolaboratif dengan teman-teman yang ada bisnis yang sudah mature di bandar udara. Itu satu prinsip yang akan kita usung bersama. Yang kedua, standar di bandar udara itu sudah lebih seragam gitu ya, standar data, standar bahasa, dan sebagainya sudah lebih seragam, dan juga silo mindsetnya sudah agak lebih terbuka kalau menurut mendapatkan. Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, saya kira dari sini. Oke, overview analis sedikit Pak. Ini saya selalu bercerita begini ya, supaya nanti kita sama-sama satu mindset. Ketika Adam dan Hawa diciptakan, Bapak sekalian, ya, itu kan belum ada manusia ya, diciptakan di surga. Yang membuat beliau jatuh, ya, para nabi Tuhan yang dikeluarkan di surga karena ada godaan iblis yang menurut bahasa kitab suci itu karena apa Pak? Salah buah huli ya kalau kitab suci. Dalam konteks kita huli itu barang, jadi ada orang ketemu pasti ada urusan barang, baik tinggi, pelit tinggi. Begitu turun, Nabi Adam beranak pinak, ada berketurunan, lalu ada ego dan lain sebagainya. Sebagai manusia membuat suatu daerah, maka ada batas-batas. Ada orang butuh barang, karena ada batas, ada regulasi, ada aturan, maka dia butuh dokumen. Yang dilihat barang, dokumen, orang. Lalu untuk alat tukar, tadinya barter dan lain sebagainya, diciptakan uang. Nah, untuk membawa barang, karena sudah dibayar, maka butuh transaksi. Jadi hidup kita adalah sebenarnya perwujudan dari mau apapun di bidang pekerjaan kita, ya itu gak jauh dari urusan orang ketemu orang, butuh barang, ya butuh barang dibutuhkan dengan uang, lalu dari uang itu ada dokumen dan dibutuhkan transport. Nah, dari sisi ini pemerintah melihat ada dua isu ketika 5 pilar dalam logistik, dan ujung-ujungnya ini yang kita sebut dengan logistik supply chain, global value chain, whatever lah kita sebut itu. Ada dua isu, prosperity approach dan security approach. Dua hal yang kadang-kadang nggak bisa dijadikan satu dalam satu keseimbangan. Prosperity approach di sisi pemerintah misalnya untuk revenue collection, ya, lalu untuk memberikan fasilitasi, menumbuh kembangkan ekonomi. Tapi di satu sisi tadi karena ada batas negara, ada trading cross border, ada domestik pergerakannya, maka di situ ada kita sebut dengan security approach. Barang boleh masuk tapi harus ngikutin aturan. Barang boleh diimpor tapi hanya boleh segini. Boleh diimpor dari negara ini, tidak boleh. Itu yang diciptakan oleh manusia dari 5 pilar itu. Nah, terkait dengan itu Bapak Ibu sekalian, mindset dulu ketika kita membangun, kebetulan saya terlibat di tahun 90 itu ketika teknologi awal baru berkembang, IT, otomasi. Lalu 97 dan seterusnya mulailah otomasi tadi, ya, komputerasi, otomasi dan sebagainya. Dan akhirnya Bapak Ibu sekalian saat ini kita dilihat data logistiknya alhamdulillah bisa terpetakan karena dikumpulkan dengan uangnya dan seterusnya. Jadi demand side adalah data yang ada di Bea Cukai yang akan kita share, ya, tapi berdasarkan informasi yang dibutuhkan dan melalui perikatan di NLD. Dan sisi kita menghubungkannya dengan sisi supply side atau platform logistik, yaitu shipping line, ya, bandar udara, platform vessel, platform tracking, financial, terminal operator dan lain-lain. Bahkan beberapa asosiasi sudah bikin platform nih Pak, ya, Alfi. Tadi saya ngomong ke teman Alfi nih, itu laut udah bikin ya, sampai laut sama udara beda lagi rejimnya nih. Padahal kan intinya sama-sama, cuman kirim data dan mungkin suatu saat ada konektivitas. Kami juga sudah berbicara dengan PT Pos. Kami juga sudah melakukan konsolidasi dengan teman-teman dari yang e-commerce dan sebagainya. Pelan-pelan kita coba jahit. Jadi agregasi Pak ya, bukan super apps. Ini beberapa overview-nya Pak. Jadi kita adalah sebagai platform orkestrator. Nah, yang kita harapkan sih transparansi UMKM Pak. Nah, UMKM ini adalah merupakan program pemerintah yang titipan dan ini harus kita lakukan dan nanti kami juga mau mencari solusi dengan teman-teman di sektor bandar. Asuransi sudah masuk juga, ada beberapa asuransi masuk platformnya ya untuk menyediakan. Dan yang paling penting adalah dashboard. Kasus yang paling terakhir ini adalah misalnya glikol obat batuk. Ya, kan ribut tuh. Ujung-ujungnya saya ditelepon jam 12 malam, Pak Agus ini mau rapat kabinet besok, tolong Bea Cukai yang kewin ya. Ada beberapa. Intinya adalah bagaimana ya kita punya PR nih. Jangan sampai ada double lift on lift off untuk kepentingan siapapun. Keamanan penerbangan benar memerlukan pemeriksaan terkait regulated agent. Karantina benar perlu pemeriksaan terkait barang-barang wajib karantina. Bea Cukai benar perlu pemeriksaan terkait barang-barang. Tetapi apakah masih benar kalau masing-masing periksa sendiri-sendiri untuk entitas yang melakukan aktivitas impor atau ekspor terhadap barang itu? Kenapa tidak satu saja? Ya, atau kalaupun memang masalah kewenangan ya kita join. Tapi kalau kayak kami Pak, misalnya saat ini yang kami kembangkan di laut ya, kami sudah menerapkan yang kita sebut dengan omnichannel, seamless submission. Ya, ini udah slide terakhir, seamless submission. Ya, jadi nanti Bapak Ibu sekalian kita harapkan mengirimkan PIB atau dokumen kepabeanan nggak perlu ke portal CESA. Kita membuka open API collaboration house to house bila perusahaan Bapak Ibu sekalian besar, ya, atau bekerja sama dengan teman-teman swasta biar connecting dengan warehouse transportnya dan paymentnya sekalian. Ke kita hanya pengen data bersih. Portal yang disediakan nanti layanan untuk yang individu-individu yang memang tidak memerlukan tergabung dengan teman-teman secara sistem secara besar. Ini saya kira beberapa hal ya nanti akan kami share. Tadi Pak Hiras ada teman-teman juga memerlukan nanti translation dalam bahasa Inggris, mohon disediakan ya PPT-nya. Intinya kan ini hari ini masih kerja sendiri-sendiri belum mati. Yuk kita sama-sama kolaborasi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Bapak Rektor Agus Sudarmadi untuk tetap di depan Pak untuk menerima plakat. Yang terhormat Bapak Agus Setiawan, Ibu Rita Rompas, Mr. Andre dan Mr. David untuk mendampingi. As with many others of the preloading expense cargo information scheme being implemented around the world, European Union preloading consignment information for secure entry, or AU Precise, has been on the horizon for many years, and will also be replacing the current import customs system scheme. As of course, starting March 2021, air postal operators will be required to file postal air shipment, parcel post and letter post item. The second phase will apply as of the 1st March 2023 to all air general cargo, air express and postal by air to the trade like airlines, ground handling, agent and forwarders.
Mr. David Wee will let us know the update of pre-loading advanced cargo information. Mr. David Wee.
Thank you very much. So, the presentation that I'm doing now is going to impact fellow airlines and freight forwarders that are shipping goods into EU. So if you are, please pay more attention to this because this is going to critically impact your operation. So what is PLEXI in short? It stands for Preloading Advanced Cargo Information. And how will the March 2023 EU implementation of such a program impact the air cargo industry worldwide? So WCO and ICAO jointly introduced an additional layer in the management of air cargo security risk. Right? Basically, the scope of this assessment is to detect immediate threats such as explosive on board the aircraft. And what is really critical for us is to make sure that we comply with these regulations to avoid any kind of penalty that is going to impose to any of us. So EU is modernizing its union customs code, which is focused on a full electronic customs message. Such as the motion here is to implement a fully electronic customs advanced cargo information system that will facilitate, first of all, trade, as well as to improve the quality of risk assessment. So the intent is really to collect data on all goods entering or transiting in EU. So the keyword here is importing and transiting into EU. Hence, any stakeholders, bringing in goods into or through EU will be impacted. So the link here actually links you to the EU website, explaining more on the program itself. So the slide here has actually more links to the legislation, which you can take reference to. So who is impacted by the ICS program? The consequence of non-compliance might have the following impact. That will include the sanctions on carriers, the financial penalties, cargo might be stopped at the border, you might not be able to clear your cargo, and you might get very unnecessary intervention. So there are actually a lot of consequences that can happen if you do not comply. And who is really impacted with regulation. So the ICS Release 1 was implemented back in 2021. It impacted most the postal operator, the express couriers. And the release of ICS 2, the ICS Release 2, would impact the forwarders and the airline the most, which is pretty much of interest to us. And Release 3 that is going to come next after Release 2 will impact more on the road and maritime. So I have on this chart a pictorial display of when ICS 2 is going to be operational. So Release 2 is going to be March 2023, next year, March. And we still have some time to prepare for it. In fact, we're looking at it now, we have about roughly 5 months to prepare ourselves for it. Release 3, of course, as I mentioned, will impact more on the maritime and road. But it will be interesting to know that if your airline that is doing air truck, then you'll be impacted in the Release 3 as well. They tally in a way. So if the data that you send do not tally, you're likely to face a rejection of the cargo. So there are going to be a lot of arrangement or business process review that needs to be done in terms of ironing out when the freight forwarder is going to send the information to the customs, or they're going to send it to the airline, and the airline compile it together and send it over to the customs. And not to mention that we also have the scenario of interline carriers. We also have the scenario of co-loaders in the picture. So there are multiple stakeholders. And when you're doing the implementation, you do have to consider all this multiple situation with your multiple stakeholders. Right? The other part is, unlike before, I think in Indonesia we have the advanced cargo information filing, where you don't really need to get an okay to board. For ICS 2, it is important that you get an okay to board before the cargo take off with the airplane. If not, you might face a situation where your cargo needs to be returned, or there could be other consequences to it. So it's very important that you then revise your business process to kind of identify when you want to send the information to the customs to get the okay to board. So you have the option to send it anytime before the flight departure, because the requirement from the EU customs is to send it before the aircraft takes off. You can send it just before the aircraft takes off. You can send it way at the start of it. So, and in our past experience for ACRS, we have found that more airlines find it more easier for them to actually file at the beginning of the process rather than at the end, because the assessment can change. Right? When you send the information over to the customs, you might not get any response. Then, or actually, if you wait until the end of the, we have the EPIC program as well. This is actually a platform that was created by Iata to actually help you connect with your partners. So basically, if you are looking for a business partner and you are not very sure how, what kind of capability they have in terms of their technology, we can use this platform actually to do a digital handshake. So it has been proven that we actually help our industry partners save a lot of time to get that handshake happens. So Iata also have conduct training. We have e-training, we have in-class training, on-site training for the 3 courses listed here: air cargo business process, electronic messaging, and preload data filing, and cargo schedule awareness that will help you with the implementation for PSC. So that is the end of my slide. Thank you very much.
What the next years?
I
Discuss first.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you will know, not only you, but we all here
Yeah.
will know
Okay.
the answer from our gold sponsor, Kargo Flash Infotech. Okay. Now, please welcome Mr. Gautamono, Director of Product, Kargo Flash Infotech.
Selamat sore semuanya. Apa kabar? Oke. Nama saya Gautamono. Saya adalah Director Products Kargo Flash. Kargo Flash Infotech has been serving the aviation cargo industry for over 12 years now, and we have our presence in Indonesia through various customers since 2009. Now, so today I'm going to talk about one of a priority checklist items which Iata also highlighted, modernizing the air cargo through digitalization and digigasm. Digigasm. Tapi apa itu digigasm? Digigasm is actually a process transformation or metamorphosis for achievement of highest level of digitalization. We support the industry for the stakeholders to transition through this journey, and today through my presentation you will see how we achieve that. Now as I move to my first slide, it has got nothing to do with air cargo, and it's a simple picture and digital art actually. And does anyone know about this picture actually, which I am presenting here? Anyone? Okay, let me give you a hint. So this is the name of the painting, Theatre de Opera Special. It won the first prize in the last art competition. Another hint, it came into controversy 2 months back. Still nothing? Okay. So let me surprise all of you. This painting has been created by an AI. Instant route expansion for an airline. They don't now need to manually find out through various channels like sending emails to airlines like which route they can expand. They just go to the portal, select the region where they want to expand, the country or the region. The system will automatically tell the airline which sectors can be added to their network, the unique sectors that can be added. It allows digital SPA, that is special product agreement, rate contracts between airlines through the portal itself. It can auto-create routes including interlines. The example which I gave earlier, the forwarder no longer need to call an airline or try to find their partners if a direct airline is not serving a particular destination. They just enter the destination and let Octoloop do all the work and try to find and build routes and the rates for you. Select and reject quotations. Now, as a forwarder, you may send quotations to your shippers of forward or sub-agents. The airlines can receive those quotations and can approve or reject or can offer you an alternate pricing. Single login for multiple airlines. Like I said earlier, just with one login, you can book with multiple airlines at one single go. it not only compares the price, but it also compares the historical service and the anticipated service that airline will provide. Now, don't worry, whatever you saw here were all dummy data, so it does not reflect the real prices or the real services. It was just for the purpose of demo. Similarly, once the airline opens up their dashboard, they see a huge amount of not only data, but also insights which helps them take a quick decision, generate and enhance their revenues. Now, what are we actually waiting for? So digitalization is here. We are able to help you all, and with that, I would like to say terima kasih banyak, and I'm available after this session also. If you have any questions or you want to see further on the application, I am more than happy to show you that. Alternatively, you can also write to us, approach us. We are just an email away, and we would be more than happy to take you and give you more details on Outlook. Thank you once again.
Okay, Mr. Gautamanda say terima kasih. We say sukriya. Wow. Give applause for Gautam Mandal as Director of Product Cargo Class Infotech. And the next, we want to say thanks for the sponsor today, Cargo Class, Dutch Bank, PT Wahana Multi Logistik.
For bronze sponsor, we have PT Buana Sarana Trans Indo, PT CKL Indonesia Raya Cikarang Kargo, Atraya Training Center, PT Bank Mandiri Persero Tbk Cabang Jakarta Pondok Kelapa, PT Arsa Kariski Shidadan, dan PT Atraya Wiranata Teknologi.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite all of you for encouragement. Kita joget kaluhuran supaya kita berkeringat. Boleh berdiri sejenak semuanya.
Ayo gayanya.
Come on everybody. Yo, yo, ha, 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 ha. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey. Yeah, yeah. Hey. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Once again. Yo, yo, yo. Thank you very much, and give applause for all of us. Yeah, yes. What's next, yes? The next is Cargo Digital Transformation.
That will be presented by Mr. Andre Major.
I promise it's the last time. So. Hopefully, for you. So, it's a little bit in line with the previous presentation from Cargo Flash and also maybe what was presented before. And also about what we said this morning, digitalization. This is I don't know exactly how to express it more than this, but this is fundamental. If you're not taking the path to digitalization, I don't exactly know how you can survive in the air cargo business. It is absolutely crucial that we all embark on the digitalization journey. Today, what we have at Iata, We have still the messaging standards. We are still using the messaging standard. It was said before that the IMP is frozen, so this is a cargo type of message that we are not using anymore. We've started in 2015 with the Cargo XML, which is a type of message that will allow you more benefits than Cargo Imp. We have been strongly advocating for the last 5 to 7 years that you have to improve, you have to upgrade your messaging standard to XML because, as you can see here, the various benefits, reduce the cost, quicker extending facilitation, implementing ERW, improve the availability of required business information, facilitating direct exchange of data, ease of implementation. I mean, there are many, many benefits of going into the XML area. Now, if we continue a little bit on this, the differences between Cargo IMP and XML, and I will not go too much into detail here, but it's definitely the characters that you will be able to use. When you see the character set is limited for IMP, it's extended for XML. It allows you to have way more information, particularly in the OCI line for additional information. The number of characters, again, for the field of the message is unlimited on the XML side. The occurrences is also unlimited, so you can repeat and repeat and repeat. So this is very, very useful in terms of flexibility. The data quality has been improved as well. The error handling has also been improved. Data validation is there as well. It's good for multimodal. That's always beneficial. And we use it also for cross-border. So, for example, David was talking about Placi, you name it the way you want, Placi regime. The customs authorities in Europe have agreed that they can use the XML messages in order to do the translation into their own customs messages. So it's very useful as for today, so no doubt about that. We have multiple messages that have already been developed. The most important one definitely the XFWB, so consignment level. You have also the house way bill, the XFZB. You have the house manifest, XFHL, the flight manifest, XFFM. So all these type of messages have been developed for a while. And we of course strongly encourage everyone to upgrade again to the latest standard available. So I'm not going through all of these messages, you will have them in the presentation, but definitely it's the latest available messaging standard that we have today, based on the legacy systems that we have. And this is why, and I agree with my predecessor, we need also to go a step further. The data exchange is, I think, more important than just the messaging exchange, and we are going to talk about that again. For the XML initiative dimensions, this is what we have today at Iata. So we have the Cargo XML standards that have been developed internally. We have a publication that will show you everything that you can do. We have some tools in order to help you implement training, consulting, partnerships, and also advanced cargo information advocacy for customs and security. We have now just signed an MOU with the customs authorities in the United Arab Emirates to develop the same type of classy regime that we can find in the European Union based on XML. So this is the baseline that we have. This is the toolkit and manual. There are many things that you can find in there. So all the XML messages. So this is very technical. It's really for our IT guys. All the specification and schema are in there. The business data elements that you put into the messages, everything is covered. Something I will not mention, I think my colleague David has touched base on that, but in terms of connectivity, we do have a platform also called Epic. With this one you can see what are the connectivity possibilities with the various business partners, be it an airline, forwarder, or even customs authorities. They are also listed in here. And we have also a bunch of IT companies that have looked at signing for the Cargo XML license because they are using themselves the toolkits that we have to make a conversion between IMP and XML, or XML back to IMP, depending on your level of upgrade. And also in order to make the translations with the various regulators. So important that we have our IT companies part of it, because it helps us to comply. When we come to discussing with the airlines and other organizations, it is quite staggering actually how slow we are in transforming. So I repeat again, and I would like to emphasize this message, if you're not fast enough in upgrading your systems and going digital and being at the latest technology that exists, you will be left behind. So we have also signed an MOU with UNCTAD so that we can implement our customs, with the customs, the various messages that we have for compliance. And these are the various governments that have already agreed on the XML messaging system to feed data into the customs system. So you have the WCO, first of all, World Customs Organization, the UPU as well, Universal Postal Union, and then you can see number 4, US CBP, Canadian Customs, Mexican Customs, blah, blah, blah. I will not go into the details, but you can see that there are many customs authorities that are relying on Cargo XML. They found it extremely useful. Commerce flows quite rapidly. So what's next? So what is the value of one record? Well, we want quick return on investment. And what can we do with one record? Well, we want use cases, right? We had a survey on digital cargo, and the findings were there is a lack of data sharing, including real-time data, the need for more process automation, use of data to optimize the operations. You might have heard of the digital twins, for example, when you can in real time adjust your operation based on data. Explore opportunities to adopt artificial intelligence on the decision-making process, and then modernize cargo distribution with dynamic pricing. So this is extremely interesting because these findings tell us in what direction we should look for. To shape the future with digital transformation, well, we need to create new value-added services and transform the business model. Define the new business processes through the use of data and optimize operation, and capture information digital. So this is the old part, so all these CIMP and CXML data exchange that we have in the messaging. Well, you can correct the trajectory very easy. And yeah, mentioning AI once more, artificial intelligence is really not the technology of the future. It's really something that is implemented today. I'll give you an example from a company based in Singapore that I know for some time. They have created 3 components of artificial intelligence. The first one is when you offload a truck at the airport, it will be in real time automatically scanned, weighed, and looking for the labels, looking for compliance with the booking, and checking the dimensions, and everything is checked automatically by scan. It enhance the possibilities with interactive cargo. So these electronic monitoring devices will be able to give you a position. They will be able to give you, if there was any shock to the consignment, it will tell you the temperature, the moisture level, humidity level. It will tell you so many things that you will be able to adjust your operation. Did it miss the flight? Are it going on the next flight? So you can really respond to any type of deviation. And then, as I said, the new generation. Don't forget that actually our kids, if they fall in love with cargo the way I did when I was young, because I'm old, that's what we said, So if they manage to really fall in love with cargo, it will not be because we are carrying boxes, but it will be because we are able to implement a brand new level of technologies that they feel confident with and that they want to use and that they are proud of using, and maybe even do some more advanced technology progress. So I think that's about it from my side, and I will leave it to here. Happy to, of course, again respond to a few questions afterwards. Otherwise, you have my contact details, and I'm happy to respond as well. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have 2 sessions, but before that,
we would like to invite Mr. Gautam Mandal for the accept the placard from the Mr. Agus and companion from the Mrs. Rita Rompas, Mr. Andre and Mr. David. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, ya, kami harapkan Bapak Ibu sekalian untuk dapat menikmati coffee break, namun boleh diperkenankan untuk dibawa ke dalam ballroom karena kita akan mempersingkat waktu dan masih ada beberapa 2 sesi lagi tentunya. Tentang apa ini dia? Tentang e-learning dan juga diskon.
the last session is about Iata publication and e-learning discount.
And the next, Kargo digitalization and opportunities. In this session, we will know the opportunity for Kargo digitalization, which will be presented by Mr. David Wee. Mr. David Wee, floor is yours.
Right, thank you. I'm going to share a bit more with you on cargo digitalization and what opportunities that we have. So this is the Iata vision. We really hope that we can create an end-to-end digital logistic and transport supply chain where data can be easily and transparently exchanged in the digital ecosystem of cargo stakeholders, community, and data platforms. So the world that we live in is becoming more digital. I'm showing a similar chart that Andrew showed earlier on, but where I want to emphasize is, during the pandemic COVID-19 years, we tend to see a acceleration of cargo digitalization. And I also want to emphasize that e-commerce has been shown earlier on as well. Andrew presented on it, but it'd be quite interesting to note that during the pandemic years, e-commerce has really accelerated the growth, and moving forward, we continue to see a very strong growth on it. And where we are, this is a survey that was done back in 2021, and we have actually airlines, freight forwarders, ground handlers, and IT service providers providing their input to the survey. And out of which, 76% of the survey respondents came to us that they are actually developing a digital strategy for the organization. 70% of them has indicated that those, so in order really to catch on more business and to improve your revenue in a very quick way, you need to be very agile today. And digitalization allows you to do that. If you want to have a new pricing model, it can be deployed almost immediately. Unlike the old traditional way, whereby you need to send your salesperson to reach out to every individual entity to explain your new feature and stuff like that. Right? And also quite importantly, it helps you improve your operational efficiency. With digitalization, you are able to scale your operation with less reliance of staff. I think many of you would have known this when you travel. You start to notice that nowadays in some airport, you start to see more self-check-in kiosks. So imagine if we don't have those self-check-in kiosks, you are going to just rely on your check-in staff to do all the formalities for you. But with a self-check-in kiosk, you are able to scale your operations without having to hire that many people. And this is just one example. Right? For cargo, of course, we have all this quote and book functions that were shared by cargo champs. All this allows you to actually have less reliance, and you can scale up the business quite quickly. It also allows you to build your operational reliance. I think at the onset of a pandemic, there was different regulations that was put in place, different forms of lockdown that was put in place, and some people have to work remotely. Without digitization, how do you work remotely? It's not possible. So then again, the question is, with pandemic, it has really taught us in a way that we are able to work in multiple locations with the help of digitization. I think we should catch up a bit, better capitalize on it. Digitization also allowed you to make your equipment smart in a way. You have seen some equipment or in the warehouse setting where you can put a RFID or a Bluetooth low emitter tag on the inventory. Interoperability between digital systems, support cross-border data flow, and safeguard personal data and consumer rights. And really, the end goal is to encourage cooperation between Singapore economic partners, in different areas of AI, digital identity, digital innovation. And with that, they create the groundwork or the foundation, for companies to come up with new innovation, to do paperless trade, fintech, e-payment, e-invoicing, doing paper submission and all. And I was told that because the consignee still wants the paper receipt or so. And this is the part where I think at the industry we need to start to inform the shipper or consignee that look, do away with it. Do everything digitally. Why do you want to hold a pile of paper and in the end you need to find somewhere to archive it? And it's very hard to search for information as well. Right, so child call document for e-freight documents. I think in most countries we have actually managed to do away with the airway view paper submission, but there's many others that there are opportunities for us to look into. Right, thank you very much.
And same as before, now we have the second panel discussion that will be conducted.
Yes, I would like to invite to Mr. Wisangani Aryo.
Saya naik lagi ke atas. Kali ini sesi kedua untuk diskusi kali ini. We would like to invite some of the guests that are coming today. First is Bapak dan Mati, M.Sc. Monggo Pak untuk kita diskusi hari ini. Dan yang kedua Mr. David, will you come to the stage as well? And the last, Mr. Douglas, we will also come to the stage for having a discussion with me and also the other participants. Thank you. All right. Alright, so we may start for having a discussion for the second session. We have already important gentlemen here for having the information and also the answer of the question that I have from the information that I have from some of the source that would like to ask me to ask So I would like to start also izin Pak Agus ke Bapak, ada beberapa pertanyaan Pak, kira-kira kita ada 120 pertanyaan ini Pak. Yang sudah saya kumpulkan, jadi izin Pak, bukan saya ini Pak, saya mengumpulkan aja sebagai moderator nih Pak. Currently, the things that we are new, it's now already engaged with the AFI, and especially that one is will be only for the ocean, right? Then actually I also following you some of the discussion. I'm doing also your join with the AFI. How about next for the freight itself?
Yeah, as I said before that freight is starting to develop a use case.
Yeah.
Because we admit that the maturity of ICC, information communication collaboration technology in air freight, is in my perspective more advanced than in some cases compared to the sea freight. This is the first one. The second one, the use case we have to develop with the air freight industry must be different. How to connect the air freight industry with the land, the warehousing, the trucking, and also if there is a needed to multimodal transportation with the sea, nah itu merupakan tugas yang nanti kita akan elaborasi. Pak, dan kalau memang ya ikan sepat ikan gabus, kalau bersedia minggu depan kita undang, kita akan segera menyiapkan FGD di tempat kita di Peserta. Terima kasih, tadi banyak insight yang kami dapat. Ada yang sudah beberapa produk sudah jadi, sudah kebayang seperti itu. Udah ada beberapa kayak tadi yang di Kargo kamu sudah kebayang kira-kira kami nggak perlu bangun lagi booking system whatsoever gitu ya. Tetapi nanti bagaimana dari booking itu connected dengan warehouse-nya, connected dengan customers-nya, dengan manufacturer, itu yang akan kita kolaborasikan. Dan tadi dengan ada yang paling penting memang standar. Dan saya lihat tadi XML standar yang kita juga sudah itu, terus juga menggunakan dataset ya. Nah, kami menggunakan UN Edifact juga, Antek juga dan WCO data model. As far as itu kita sudah dalam irama yang sama, saya kira teknologi bisa menjembatani apapun itu. Jadi kolaborasi ya kita, bukan integrasi.
Nanti Pak. Yes, please.
So Iata is now coming up with one record standard, which we have shared extensively earlier on the slides, on this project called the EU Federated. So essentially is to allow the industry to use one record by the intermodal transportation companies. So this could be I would say an option for NLE if the parties want to consider.
Alright, so actually that one is the question that I would like to address to you, David. You mentioned about the preloading advanced cargo information. Then Pak Agus having the development of the NLE, right? Then you just mentioned in Europe that there is a chance for connecting each other, right? For the information integrator, right? From the yourself and also the AFI. Then how about if let's say from this Iata having the documents that link into the NLE, how confident the customer as well as the freight forwarding that this document will be covered from both systems between Iata and also NLE, and how is the confidence of the freight forwarding that this data will be only kept by them instead of they will get the information that the information will be shared to the other forwarders.
And go first.
Yeah, please.
First of all, I think I hope to refrain to use the word that one record is a system. It's not a system.
Yeah, it's a system. Right.
It's a data sharing standard.
Right.
So when it comes to Plexi, you are allowed, of course, to send the information to customer, but at the end of the day.
Tapi ketika melewati NLE, karena mungkin nanti akan ada multiple stakeholders yang akan dihubungi, yaitu sesuai dengan perikatan dari bisnis bisnisnya. Kita tidak melakukan pertukaran data yang kayak single submission. Jadi data PB kita bagi ke semua. Ya, untuk tracking yang tadi sebagai tracking yang pengen dia tahu kan hanya kapan ada barang mau keluar, informasi itu hanya bahwa PT ini akan mengeluarkan barang, tapi tidak detail dan lain sebagainya. Seperti itu kira-kira. Dan memang itu sudah dipertimbangkan dan kita mendapatkan
answer your question, I just want to do a quick introduction about myself and also how this journey of last 10 years, being coming to Indonesia and working with the best private and government operators, has been an amazing experience. I think, well, my name is Jasraj, I'm the co-founder and director of Cargo Flash, and my journey has brought me to an amazing experience in the last 10 years, where we started with providing, and we have some kind of reason that we have facilitated the adoption of e-airways in this geography. Because when we came to Lion Air, we started with straight away e-airways. We said there will be no bid. And then they also opened Line Parcel, which also we kind of facilitated in terms of building a platform for connecting the airline to the last mile and the first mile. Subsequently, we were able to win the Garuda bid.
I think this is an interesting part of our air cargo industry where we have many IT service providers or cargo flash and all, where you tend to see the gap in the market and then you create a new solution to suit the situation. What was mentioned of having that ideal situation of interline cargo can be a reality. Of course, there will be some background work, because for airlines we need to have their code share agreement. So, I mean, if the industry has a need for it, Iata is here to call.
Last question for Pak Agus and Pak Adi and Pak David.
Align with the government and some programs to kind of help the industry to have a global standard, rather than every country you go you have a different set of standards and make implementation very difficult. And the same applies for digital standards as well. I mean, Iata will be very happy to support the NLE in terms of creating a kind of global system, global standard that can be replicated all over the world, similar to what we are doing with EU Federate in the EU countries.
Okay, thank you Pak David. Sekali lagi saya thank you Pak Agus sekali lagi Bapak. Sebelum saya tutup, Bapak Ibu ada yang mau ditanyakan ke Pak Agus? Oh ya siap, monggo Ibu Dono.
Terima kasih Pak. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Punya Budi Pak. Saya mau langsung ke Pak Agus saja Pak. Kebetulan saya di BP Batam. Kebetulan saya juga ikut membidani munculnya BLE, Batam Logistik Ecosystem. Nah, kebetulan Pak Agus tadi ngomong mau minggu depan mau ngajak ada forum discussion group gitu yang mau BP Batam dilibatkan karena kebetulan BP Batam itu Batam sendiri FTZ karena aturan yang berlaku di umum di Indonesia lainnya nggak bisa diterapin di Batam. Makasih itu aja Pak. Makasih.
Kemarin sempat kita sudah mulai raise itu Batam Logistik Ecosystem as an embryo ya sebagai use case pertama, tapi tiba-tiba karena isu muncul membangun Batam Newport dan lain sebagainya. Nanti kami akan kita lanjutkan yang pernah terjadi, pernah kita bikin, dan memang nanti ada beberapa use case dan memerlukan support juga dari BP Batam, terutama untuk bagaimana platform-platform lokal juga bisa berkembang. Karena itu kan dekat dengan Singapura, di mana sebagian besar sudah end-to-end. Batam hanya sebagai aids-nya saja, tapi nanti coba kita diskusikan. Terima kasih sudah di-remind kembali Pak terkait BLE yang sempat nanti sebentar.
Pak David.
I just want to say a small closing thought.
Please. Yeah.
I want the audience here to kind of visualize what's going to come in the future. I'm going to take two examples, India and Indonesia.
Yeah.
We have 1.4 billion people, 700,000 villages. And you have to visualize that C2C, B2B and C2C, direct consumption process. This is how air cargo will join in commerce beyond what we see today.
Sure. Okay, thank you Pak Sadek from your insight. As I mentioned at the beginning that this digitalization and automation, it cannot be avoided already. As mentioned by Pak Agus in the beginning there.
I do echo the message
probably a smaller place now in terms of moving merchandise. So thank you very much, everybody. It was a pleasure being here on the panel and being part of this beautiful vision that has been laid down by Kargo in terms of the national logistics ecosystem. It's a great vision. Thank you.
Okay, once again thank you Pak Agus, Pak David dan Pak Ali. Saya kembalikan acara ini ke MC. Mohon maaf nanti kalau misalnya tadi ada diskusi salah kata dari kami atau dari saya. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Aryo and all panelists. And the last, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that the participants have entered the correct email address so that we can send all the workshop material, all the photo and the certificate.
But if you don't mind, I'm going to do it standing because it's the very relaxed part of it. So the whole idea of this session is really give back to the industry. It's all about good news for what I'm going to present. Right, but first of all, let me introduce you a bit about Iata training. We have Iata training founded in 1972, and since we have already we have 1 million professional and graduate that have been trained in Iata, and you can see that we have over 420 partners. We have 50 over diploma programs. We have 450 courses that are offered worldwide. Right, and the scope of the training we cover is as shown on the slide here. It's actually almost everything relating to our aviation industry, both passenger as well as cargo, slots, safety, security is all being covered. Right, and usually after each of the courses, we always make sure that we torture our training to make sure that they go through the exam. And after they go through the exam, we make them give us some feedback. 90% of them recommend the courses. They feel that they can recommend our courses to their fellow friends and colleagues. Right. So there are actually multiple forms of training methodology. One is the self-study, which you can study on your own pace over a period of 6 months, and then choose to take the exam. And taking the exam, there's also 2 forms. One is supervised, and the other time is unsupervised. That is the e-learning. That's the part where I hope to share with you a bit more. I think everyone is quite familiar with e-learning. Doesn't require any more introduction on that. We have, so incorporating with self-learning and e-learning, we have the digital courses that have been offered. This has been quite popular during the pandemic years when traveling is not allowed and a lot of people have to work from home, and they've chosen to take courses digitally. Right? So I'd like to introduce you a few courses that we have in Iata for e-learning. One is Live Animal for cargo personnel. So if you have yourself that's interested, or you have your staff that you want to put the staff to handle live animal, then I would strongly recommend that you go through the live animal handling for cargo personnel. So it mirrors, or it is based on the Iata live animal regulations. So at the end of the course, you will be quite proficient in terms of understanding what are the requirements to airship an animal on board the aircraft. And of course, there will be an exam accompanying it. You will get a certification. And the second course is about transport of pharma products and vaccine by air. So during pandemic, we see a lot of companies swinging into handling pharma. But not every company can do it. They want to do it, but they can't do it. Partly because they don't have the knowledge. So this is one course that can offer you the foundation or the competency to handle pharma shipments. And of course, this is based on our TCR, our regulations for pharmaceutical. Then we have the dangerous goods. This will be mentioned more tomorrow, where the ICAO is now pushing for the CBTA approach to DG learning. So this e-learning course actually you'll be able to obtain the certification to handling DG, and that's based on the CPTA.
In addition, a title may include resources such as bulletins, which can be accessed using the paperclip icon. Clicking on the paperclip will open a window to the right. You can download content by clicking on the title. To access your content, click on the title card. There are several ways to navigate your ebook. Use the table of contents to go directly to the units or chapters you are required to view. See your progress by using the scroll bar. Use it to go back and forth in the text. Use the bookmark feature to go back to the selected text. Use the page entry field to go directly to the selected page. Highlighting important content is as simple as dragging your cursor over the important text and choosing a highlighter. Click to add a note.
I will share with you. So for today, for all of you, we would like to extend 50% discount to the manual that is listed here. For Kargo XML, for preloading, cargo information filing, for conventional transportation manual, as well as Iata cargo handling manual. And if you're also interested to sign up the Epic solution, we're also offering 50% for a limited period of time until the end of December 2022. So if you're interested, please write to us through the email indicated here. So thank you very much.
Diambil 6 bulan, kita bisa belajar sendiri dan ujiannya kita bisa pilih sendiri. Jadi kalau kita merasa sudah, gue udah bisa nih, udah sampai sini gitu ya, coba masuk ke ujian. Ujiannya online dan itu valid sampai 6 bulan dan ujiannya only one time or 2 times if they fail. $100 dari 150 jadi $100. Kayaknya itu murah banget kan untuk e-learning dan dapat sertifikat Iata juga gitu. Oke. Kalau ada pertanyaan boleh ke saya. Ada yang mau propose untuk e-learning atau publication? Thank you so much, Mr.
Yes, and the last, we would like to say thank for the sponsor. Gold sponsor, there are Kargo Flash, Bank, PT Wahana Multi Logistik.
Bronze sponsor, PT Buana Sarana Trans Indo, PT CKL Indonesia Raya, CKL Kargo, Akraya Training Center, PT Bank Mandiri Persero, TBK Cabang Jakarta Pondok Kelapa, PT Arsaka Rizky Shidadan, PT Akraya Wiranata Teknologi.
Dan kami ingatkan kembali kepada seluruh peserta yang mengikuti di hari kedua, kami wajibkan untuk membawa ID card. And for participants who have taken part in the second day of the workshop, they are required to bring back your ID card, please.
Finally, we finished the first day of Iata Air Cargo Day 2022. Thank you for your attending and sharing knowledge, also experiences. I am Diaz, and my partner
Kali.
would like to say thank you, and we apologize if there are words or actions that are less pleasing.
Goodbye, see you tomorrow with a great heart.
Sekarang saya sedang bersama Ibu Rita Rompas selaku Country Manager Iata Indonesia. Ibu Rita Rompas, bagaimana kesan dan pesan Ibu untuk acara The First Iata Air Cargo Day 2022?
Terima kasih. Nama saya Rita Rompa, saya Country Manager untuk Iata Indonesia. Hari ini saya merasa senang dan bangga. Menurut saya pengerjaannya sangat luar biasa. Kami melakukan event semacam ini setiap tahun, tapi untuk saya yang kali ini yang sangat berkesan karena pengaturannya sangat rapi dan terlihat profesional. Jadi saya ingin mengatakan kepada industri, ayo kita bangkit, jangan kita terlena dengan pandemi. Kita biarkan pandemi di belakang, tapi kita menatap hari esok dengan lebih baik.
Baik, terima kasih banyak Ibu Rita Rompas. Saya sudah bersama Mas Andrika selaku International Cargo Warehouse Manager Garuda Indonesia. Mas Andrika, apa kesan pesannya nih untuk Iata Air Cargo Day 2022?
Sebenarnya bagus bagi kami sebagai Garuda Indonesia sebagai warehouse operator, di mana kita bisa update mengenai current condition atau current trend yang ada di dunia ini mengenai cargo operation tentunya, dan juga bagaimana cara kita akan bergerak ke depan nantinya sesuai dengan apa yang disampaikan pada acara hari ini. Jadi saya kira ini sangat berguna bagi semua entitas yang terlibat dalam cargo operation, baik itu kami sebagai warehouse operator, kami sebagai airlines, maupun rekan-rekan dari forwarder agent ataupun dari ground handling lain.
Apa pesannya nih untuk kedepannya mungkin untuk di acara Iata Cargo Day ini?
Rutin-rutin diadakan. Mungkin bisa jadi 6 monthly meeting, atau misalkan mungkin monthly meeting atau bi-monthly meeting kita aja ngumpul-ngumpul, kita ngomongin tren tentang cargo operation atau kargo pada umumnya. Itu akan sangat membantu kita untuk menyusun strategi, update current situation gitu. Akan sangat menyenangkan juga tentunya.
Baik, terima kasih banyak Mas Andrika. Good evening. I'm with Mr. Jasraj Asjuk as co-founder and director of Cargo Flash Infotech. So, Mr. Rasraj Asjuk, what is your impression and what is your message, or is there any words for this event as the first event of Iata Air Cargo Day 2022?
No, I'm very impressed at the arrangements, and when we got to know about this event, and since we've been in the Indonesian market for over 10 years, we were sure that we want to be here and participate with Iata and encourage them to make it more often, maybe at least once a year, because this gives a great opportunity to interact directly with the entire aviation ecosystem. We've met people from airlines, we met the senior officials from customs, we've met the forwarders, and this is great because it's very efficient to understand the pain points of the industry, to express how we are helping as a technology service provider, resolving some of these pain points for all the stakeholders of the industry. And with digitization being a very important change, metamorphosis emerging right now, it's extremely important that the engagement with the stakeholders of the industry is regular, updated, and repeated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I do agree that this would be useful for the cargo industries for sure. Okay, thank you so much.